Ladies and gentlemen, this is a YouTube show in which you are brought Slot Machine Sunday, Money Cards Monday, Tic Tac Tuesday, Whammy Mania Wednesday, Thundercracker Thursday, and Flinging Dice Friday and Saturday Superstarcade. Also, wrestling news from Raw, NXT 2.0, AEW Dynamite, NXT UK, Impact Wrestling, SmackDown and 205 Live, and AEW Rampage, and special episodes from Road and Up, Cyber Swaggin', and the philosophies of Lee McLeese. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the YouTube show of fun, of knowledge, strategy, luck and daring, and mental shenanigans. This is WEML-TV Channel 77. And now here's the host of the show, live from New Bedford, Massachusetts. It is none other than Eric M. Lima. Thank you, Mr. Wonderful Announcer, sir. Well, hello there. This episodic YouTube channel vlog show is brought to you by your friendly neighborhood, sweet, bumbling Bofa Raver. And has appeared on the following shows from the StreamYard community, expanded from the Discord community. I'm talking about Bumbling Boso's variety program, hosted by Uriel Ibarra, David St. Dennis, Psycho Mike Wilson, and occasionally Jeremy Dimitrick every single Saturday night at 9 on the Ibarra Bros Studios YouTube channel. Also, Bofus on the Sofas. I've appeared in that, at least one episode, starring Garrison Newkirk, Jerome Latimer, and the Putting Umbrellas, Alex and Austin, every Monday night on Monday afternoon at 5 on the Mr. Garrison 96 YouTube channel. I'm also one of 5 panelists for the Rant and Rave podcast, co-founded and co-created by Brandon Martin and Jordan Little. I joined them alongside Uriel Ibarra and Michael Mabardier every Thursday night at 8 on the Brandon Martin YouTube channel. And I'm one of 4 panelists of the Too Sweet Wrestling podcast, hosted by Joseph Cumia Jr., Double Z, Zach Zuniga, Jordan Little, and myself, as we try to give you NXT live reactions every Tuesday night at 8. And we try to do a podcast every other Saturday night at 8 on the Elite JC TV channel. I'm also the five-time, can't you dig it, sucker, Bumbling Bozos Bozy Awards nominee in 2021. Will I be a nominee this year? Who knows for sure. And my name is Eric Lima, by the way, for those of you who don't know and are keeping score. This is my channel vlog show. In season 1, it was known as the People's Lima / TPL. Season 2 is EML-77 TV. But today is this year, right now, it's WEML-TV Channel 77, episode 1226 of the show. And May the 17th, 2022, 11:54 a.m. Good morning, everybody. I just got out of work not too long ago. Came home, a happy dude. What's going on, everybody? We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw, what happened last night. There's some huge news coming out of Monday Night Raw. Everybody's probably known it by now, seen it online. I will give you my thoughts on the situation when I come across it. So, the first things first, it's a steel cage match. Bobby Lashley versus Omos. And Cedric Alexander tried to get into good graces MVP by blindsiding Lashley, and him and Omos started brawling. They took it to the ring and into the steel cage. In the steel cage match, as you know, pinfall, submission, or escaping the cage is the only way to win. And Cedric Alexander tries again to interfere. But then Omos did a crazy, stupid thing. He threw Bobby Lashley to the cage door, and the cage fell out. And got to the point where Bobby Lashley, all I had to do is just roll out from the cage and basically just jump on the ground, and Bobby Lashley won the match. So it looks like Omos doesn't know his own strength. But anyways, so Mustafa Ali was going to go on a one-on-one matchup, a non-title match against Theory, the United States champion. So he says, well, I'm getting Miz to be my special guest referee again. I'm like, oh, God, here we go. Again. And then he says, well, is that enough? You're not facing me. You're facing Veer Mahan. I'm like, oh, good Lord. Veer Mahan's going to kill Ali, which he did. And then, but as Mahan was attacking, continuing attacking Ali, Theory, and Miz were having a selfie with him and all that. Here comes the Mysterios to return, and they decide to attack Veer Mahan. And it seems like a handicap match down the road. Alright, here's the situation. Now, last night was supposed to be a six-pack challenge to decide the number one contender to Bianca Belair's Raw Championship. As you know, Hell in a Cell is coming up, and that's when the match will take place. But then Becky Lynch was complaining to Adam Pearce about this situation. And Adam Pearce said, fine, we're making it one-on-one. Asuka versus Becky Lynch. Now, here's the situation. The six-pack challenge was supposed to be the women's tag team champions Naomi and Sasha Banks, along with Doudrop and Nikki ASH. But come to find out that Sasha Banks and Naomi were not very happy about that creative direction, especially with they're picking Naomi to win the thing to face Bianca Belair. Both women are not very happy about it. Reports say they, according to WWE, they dropped their tag team titles and basically walked out. I don't know if they actually quit the WWE. If they did, that's a big mistake on the WWE's part. And if that's the case, creative needs to change. Because Bruce Pritchard, John Laurinaitis, Kevin Dunn, and Vince McMahon don't get it. This is not the 80s back in the day, guys. And they got to realize this is not the 80s back in the day. Yes, I love the 80s. I love the 80s music. I just love the 80s music, the shows, and all that. And sometimes, but this is not the same anymore. Creative has got to change. This is not. Listen, you got to put more respect on the championships and all. This is, Vince McMahon's got to get out of this carny mentality, because that's been the problem, and that's what's killing the WWE. And you know what? And Kevin Dunn has to go. He does not know a wrist lock from a wristwatch. I don't know why he's still doing there. And in fact, a lot of people say, "Oh, you're a fan of the company and not a fan of the talent." Listen, we got to support the talent. In the WWE, we got to support the company. If we support the company, we support the talent in that company. It just everything's so messed up in the WWE right now, and my heart goes out to the talent in the WWE right now, and I'm sure some of them are taking their lumps and all that, but I don't know what's going to happen if Sasha Banks and Naomi leave the WWE officially. Then this is going to be awkward for Jimmy Uso, because now the Usos could be on their way and the bloodline to be dominant, and if here's another problem. Charlotte's going to be out indefinitely. Plus, she's getting married, so I'm sure they don't want to call her back and then get upset. And then you got, and Roman Reigns is going to take like 10 weeks off. I mean, seriously, how are they going to? I have nothing to say. It's just a shame that, if the WWE brass, especially those four guys I mentioned, Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, Kevin Dunn, and John Laurinaitis, can get their heads out of their ends and realize for once, hey, this is not the 80s and 90s no more. This is nowadays. You got to listen to the people. They're not listening. They claim to be listening to the people, and they're not listening to the people, man. No wonder why a lot of people say, oh, they're going to be AEW bound. But I'm hoping that, Sasha and Naomi just kind of clear their heads, clear their minds, and just, realize, the WWE needs Sasha Banks, and it'll be a big mistake. And if Sasha Banks does leave, she'll be the first of the four horsewomen to leave the company. And I don't know what's going to happen if the tag team titles are going to be officially vacant or what. I'll find out online whether or not that's the case. But I'm not, it's like the creative has got to change. The creative cannot be kowtowing to everything. Vince McMahon's got to realize, hey, this is not the 80s anymore. This is not cartoony stuff anymore. This is real wrestling, man. And no wonder why people look down on the WWE, because Vince McMahon, you ruined the company, to be honest with you. Because him and Kevin Dunn, all they care about is image. How about wrestling skills, man? Talent. Talent comes from within, man. And Kevin Dunn, that buck-toothed donkey, he should be that buck-toothed donkey beaver, who should be the mascot for Buc-ee's instead of Ruby Soho. I think Kevin Dunn should be the new Buc-ee's mascot, to me, in my opinion. He's got to realize, this is, it takes more than just looks to get someone far. And if Sasha, like I said, if Sasha Banks and Naomi leave the WWE, that feels a huge gap in the women's division, and that could hurt a lot. And Bayley we don't know when Bayley's going to come back and hurt, and Bayley's still hurt for the time being. Charlotte's going to be gone for a while. I mean, I mean, I don't know what Sasha Banks and Naomi are thinking. They gotta realize what's up, man. They gotta realize, But this also opens the door. Xia Li can, they could have replaced Sasha Banks and Naomi, no problem. They could have put like Xia Li or Aaliyah, give them a chance with TV time, or Shotzi. I know. Sometimes the WWE is the brass. Those four stooges, Vince, Bruce, Laurinaitis, and Dunn, are not thinking straight. Are not thinking with great logic. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, it's like, oh my gosh, and like, I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, they're on worldwide television. They care about image. It's fine. It takes more than image to get over with the fans. It takes more than image. It takes talent. It takes skills. Vince and Kevin Dunn are not realizing this. And Vince is probably senile at his old age. This is what happens when we get one too many Stone Cold Stunners from Steve Austin. My goodness. I really don't know. And I hope Sasha Banks and Naomi stay in the WWE. If not, WWE's made a humongous mistake. It's going to cost them down the road. Trust me on that one. I just hope they get the minds cleared and all that. So, it's unbelievable. So that six-pack challenge is now going to a one-on-one matchup. The winner of the face Bianca Belair at Hell in a Cell. Riddle, who Riddle. I'll tell you one thing. His stock is really rising. I mean, what he did this past Friday night at SmackDown, kneeing Roman Reigns to the face. Like I said, Riddle's knee acknowledged Roman Reigns' face, and now, and I think there's a reason why Riddle won the matchup. They're probably punishing Jimmy Uso for Naomi's walkout, and Uso gets Riddle beat Jimmy Uso in that one-on-one matchup. Despite the fact that Jey Uso tried to help him, and it didn't work. Kevin Patrick interviewed Liv Morgan about her thoughts about Rhea Ripley, but then Los Lotharios tries to hit on Liv Morgan. Really? And then AJ Styles and Finn Balor tell him to go away. And then Styles and Balor are convincing Morgan to join forces with them because, listen, Judgment Day, the Judgment Day, they're after us. And they're going to, we need to work together. So, Liv Morgan said, I'll think about it. And the Judgment Day cut a promo. And I think Rhea Ripley's got her new nickname, the Eradicator. I kind of like that. So, they said, they're sick and tired of listening to the fans and all that. And, let's see what happens for the Judgment Day. AJ Styles and Finn Balor teaming up against the Los Lotharios. And Liv Morgan did appear in that corner. Looks like she had made her decision. And Balor and Styles did defeat Los Lotharios. And all three of them did the Too Sweet sign. So, we don't want to call them the Bullet Club. We call them the Too Sweet Club. Or the Sweet Club. We don't want to call them that. Styles Club, Balor Club. I don't know. Let's see. Or just or a new version of the OC. Or the Club. You never know. Kevin Owens was waiting on Alpha Academy to give them the results to Ezekiel's DNA test, but it got screwed up because somebody put barbecue sauce on it, and it was Otis eating ribs. And I'm like, you never let Otis handle anything while he's eating. Goodness sakes. Anyways, Alexa Bliss went one-on-one with Sonya Deville again in a rematch from last week. Bliss won again. And then Sonya Deville started snapping, and then all of a sudden she started confronting the referee who was refereeing that match. They're arguing. The referee says, I made a 3 count. And then she slaps the referee. What does that mean? Major fine, or hopefully a suspension. You never know. Good Lord have mercy on me. On my soul, ladies and gentlemen. On my soul. Then Cody Rhodes... commercial break. Cody Rhodes addressed the Virginia crowd, and then challenged Rollins to a matchup at Hell in a Cell. Seth Rollins interrupts Cody Rhodes, Seth freaking Rollins, and they responds to the challenge, and he accepts it. So Seth freaking Rollins, Cody Rhodes, Hell in a Cell, that's coming. Sarah Schreiber interviews Asuka about her matchup against Becky Lynch tonight. Again, it was supposed to be a 6-pack challenge. But what if Nikki ASH and Doudrop? Okay, here's another thing too. If Sasha Banks and Naomi actually leave the WWE, if they did that, they would breach a contract and they would be in trouble for it. I think that's why I don't think Sasha Banks and Naomi are going to leave for the time being. But here's the deal: if they end up getting released, or if they end up leaving, what if the women's tag team championship? Will there be a mini tournament that'll be going on for sure? Because I know Doudrop and Nikki ASH will probably want the belts. And you got, but the ladies in NXT got the women's tag team titles too. So, gonna be probably some new women's teams being formed. I don't know. I know Natalya and Shayna Baszler, they may end up joining forces, or will Aaliyah and Xia Li join? Well, Xia Li join forces with anybody. Who knows for sure? All right. So getting back to Asuka, and Asuka says that she'll beat Becky Lynch because she's not ready for Asuka and all that good stuff. So. Ezekiel went one-on-one with Chad Gable, and despite the efforts of Otis and KO at ringside, KO keeps saying Elias. He's saying Elias and Ezekiel. Ezekiel beat Chad Gable one-on-one. Meanwhile, R-Truth and Tamina were looking for Akira Tozawa to serve him his divorce papers. He found back. Dana Brooke runs into him, starts talking to, hey, thank you very much, and then R-Truth says, I want my baby back. I want my 24/7 title back. Dana Brooke walks away, bumps into Carmella. Both Carmella and Dana were trash talking back and forth. R-Truth screams. Dana runs off. Truth runs into Carmella and says, Carmella, I gotta get my baby back. And then he goes, we'll get you back your 24/7 title. Right now, I want Dana Brooke. R-Truth said, well, no problem. R-Truth, Carmella, go way back. Lacey Evans returns to the ring to address the Virginia crowd. She's really proud. She's giving a motivational speech about you can do whatever you want. You put your mind to it. Thanking the troops and a lot of respect. I think you're going to see a very different Lacey Evans from here on out, obviously. And who knows if Sasha Banks and Naomi leave? It looks like it will be up to Lacey Evans to pick up that part. So we'll see what happens. Okay. I don't know if officially Sasha Banks and Naomi have officially left yet, but like I said, if they do, then that's like I said, a huge void. WWE is making a big mistake. And Rudo and the Usos were cutting a promo for Friday's unification matchup, but it may end up going to, like I said again, Jimmy Uso's situation with his wife Naomi. That could complicate things and complicate things for the Bloodline storyline. So I'm hoping that everything all right. So Riddle and Uso started talking trash for the title match this Friday. Bianca Belair was coming to ringside and to watch the matchup for the #1 contendership, Asuka versus Becky Lynch, both former champions, and Becky Lynch tried to get the upper hand. So she started something with Bianca Belair. I think the goal is to get Bianca Belair to interfere to get Asuka disqualified so that Becky Lynch can face Bianca Belair. I forgot to do this part. So she tried doing that. Bianca Belair distracted the referee while she was going after Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch decided to sneak over and get Asuka's umbrella, which is the part of the new thing for Asuka's entrance, and tried to hit her with it, and then Asuka beat her to the punch with the green mist, a la the Great Muta, a la Tajiri. Ends up pinning Becky Lynch, and it will be Asuka versus Bianca Belair at Hell in a Cell for the Raw Women's Championship. All right. Before we end this episode right here, I don't know what the exact status of Sasha Banks and Naomi is right now. If they are stripped of the tag, if they relinquish the tag team titles, we may see a tournament, or will they be discontinued? I don't know. But I think listen, Vince does not like accepting the blame for anything, and I know that Vince, Bruce Pritchard, John Laurinaitis, and Kevin Dunn, especially Kevin Dunn, has to go. I think that's the main key, because Kevin Dunn again has hampered the WWE time and time again. And Vince is up there in age. He should hand the company down to his son, daughter. Well, how about his daughter and son-in-law? They've been more inactive in the company than Shane has ever been. So I'm personally thinking that but Vince is too stubborn to do anything. You know, and that's the problem. Vince's stubbornness is going to cost and it's going to hurt this company big time. And if the company closes down like it did WCW, and that means my heart will go out to all those superstars. You know, that's why I feel bad for the talent still curling and working there, staying strong, and hopefully Sasha Banks and Naomi kind of, you know, I don't want to say I hope they come to their senses and realize that, hey, we could, you know, be sued for breach of contract when we left, but you know, they should have handled this in a different way, to be honest with you, as well. So it was like, hey, we're the women's tag team champions. We don't need to be in this matchup. But you know, the crazy part is that Naomi was supposed to win the 6-pack challenge to face Bianca Belair, but it didn't sit well with Sasha. Who knows? So I'm hoping that Sasha and Banks and Naomi clarify what's been going on, and if they decide to come back to work for the WE, that's fine. If they leave, then the WE's made a mistake, and they're going to end up going to bite in the rear end, because right now they got, you know, Sasha Banks and Naomi's got to realize Charlotte Flair is going to be out for a long time, even though she's on SmackDown. Bayley's still rehabbing from her injury, so. And right now NXT, you know, NXT's missing a few pieces in the women's division as well. Io Shirai's out with an injury. So is Zoe Stark, for that matter. You know, Candice LeRae just left, and you know, I don't know what it is. The creative team is really hampering the talent of the WWE because they're afraid of this, they're afraid of that. They gotta stop being afraid. Turn this to the Attitude Era. That's how you're gonna get some views back. I mean, I'm sorry, it's just really, really awful right now. I'll still watch the shows and see and what develops, but come on, you know, it's about time that Vince steps down. You know. And Kevin Dunn, he needs to step down too. You know, time for Kevin Dunn to retire and do regular TV shows, you know. Instead of these, you know, I don't know. Anyways, so that's all the time we have on the show, episode 1226 of the show. Peace throughout your lives, love throughout your lives, and the blessings of the Lord Jesus Christ from Him above to me and from me to you. Take the blessings because you deserve it. And I'll see you in the next episode where I play some tic-tac-toe. And do a 20-round battle against Sackboy. See ya. Peace out.